Rolling whenever you're ready.
Now, I'm very confused. MSI sent over this motherboard, and I haven't really reviewed it properly. I'm going to just be doing it as like you would buy it from the shop, but telling you what you actually get in there. And what we're going to do, we're going to read from the box. That's what we're going to do. So this is the X299 Gaming M7 ACK. Now, this is the motherboard that's enthusiast level for gaming. Yes, you can do video editing production, or video production I should say, studio production stuff. You can do anything because it's a computer. So we've got that out of the way. You can game, yes, but high levels. You should be able to stream. This is the X299 platform. So what do you get in the box? Well, you get 4 SATA cables, and they're in a nice bag, so that's really good. You get 3D X mounting screws, which I thought these were like standoffs that you actually put in the actual case, but it's not. This is the screws that you can have 3D, if you've got a 3D printer, you can screw stuff to the board and stuff like that. I don't know how that really works, but I can't even see any screw holes. I would have, to be honest with you, let's count the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have said these were mounting screws, like, but anyway, you get them, and then you get a SLI bridge. So if you've got dual graphics cards, this is a high bandwidth SLI bridge, and that means that it makes, like, if you've got 2 graphics cards, and it's 8 times 8 times or 16 by 8 times, it will make sure that it comes out correct speed. This is a horrible looking bandwidth SLI bridge, but it's got the little dragon on the front. But yeah, either paint it or put your own little spin on it, get a 3D print on it, do what you need to do on it. So that comes in there as well. So I'm just going to put this back in the bag. You also get your nice thick manual, and it's the same as any other manual. It's really easy, straightforward. Yeah, so that goes there. And then you get a DVD, because everyone's got a DVD. What we've got, thank you for choosing MSI product, and then we've got some stickers, and these stickers label all your connections so you know where everything is, but I don't use that. I don't know who does use that, but you can use it. What's this? Memory installation node. So the X299. So basically, let me just cut a story short. So if you've got like the Z170, Z270, that's kind of the older generation platforms of Intel's computers, because it had the X99 generation, which you could populate all the, well, basically it had 4 DIMMs on each side. So you can go crazy to 128 gigabytes of memory speed on there. But so this is basically, if you've got a CPU, I don't even know. Like, MSI sent this CPU over to me, and I don't even know what version this is. Apparently, I can test everything. So I should be, look, both lanes should be open, but I don't know what CPU that is. But I will do when I put this in. This whole point of this video is just to give you a quick overview, and you can leave your comments down below what you want to see. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a computer with this, and I'm going to use certain power supplies. I'm going to use a CPA cooler, I'm going to use AIO water cooling, and I'm going to use custom water cooling on there. But I'm not going to use any bendy tubing, so I'm not going to use a heat gun to do hard tubing. Just going to use flexible tubing and water cool it and see what the temperatures I'm going to get, see if we're going to get heat throttling and stuff like that, and what it looks like for aesthetics. Is anything going to be in the way and stuff like that? Because obviously it's got 4 PCI lanes for the graphics cards. It's got 2 M.2, and you've got 2 screws that you just unloose, and it screams robustness. It really does. That's not even a word. It's a word in my dictionary though, robustness. Anyway, so it's got thermal pads underneath, which is really pretty awesome, because for M.2 it runs pretty hot, just like any sort of SSD would. If you take it apart, you can feel that it runs really hot with the read and writes. So you've got at the bottom PCI lane bracket, you have you can put the biggest M.2 in the world in there, and then obviously the one at the top, which is the one with 16 bus, and it looks like it's got fairly a lot of pins on there. It's definitely 16 times bus. This one's 8 times. This one's 16 times, and this one might be 8 times as well. So I don't know what they're doing there. You should be able to overclock this to 4,000 and something megahertz. Or gigahertz, not megahertz, and that means that you're going to have some serious overclocking. It's got 4-pin, 8-pin for the EPS connector, and that means that you can have even more stabilized overclocking. It's got 10 plus 1 plus 1 plus phase for your chokes and VRM, so it means wicked overclocking there. RGB galore on the board and stuff like that. I like this. It just feels and screams robustness. It's really good. As I said, that's my word. Anyway, it's got RGB on there, enthusiastic gaming, MSI. It's got M.2s, which I already said. Let's talk about the USBs. So it's got USB 3.1 to Type A. So that's up to 10 gigabits per second. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got Bluetooth. It's got 2 USB 2s. And it's reversible up to 1.1 USB. It's got S-Video. It's got the old school keyboard and mouse, so that's good. It's got a Cmos and Bios. So basically, with the BIOS, so if you fail with the BIOS, you can press this button and obviously load everything up USB and do everything like that, or you can add the new USB BIOS on there, and you can also reset the Cmos battery, which is the J battery here, and you can take this out. So if any overclocking problems, you can get it sorted. It does have a lot of VRMs and it does have a lot of chokes on it. It just looks really, really nice. It looks as good as Japanese capacitors. There might even be Japanese capacitors on this board. Not really sure until when I have a really play around with it. I've literally just taken out the box and I'm just talking about it right now. It's got a few fan headers. So it's got 2 fan headers at the top. So it's got pump fan, system fan. Those are 4 pins. So it's PWM. So you can just go into the BIOS and mess around with the curves and get some nice airflow on your motherboard or some silence. Or if you're overclocking, just turn it all up. Turn it all up. Anyway, this actual CPU, where the CPU goes, is absolutely huge. It really is getting bigger and bigger. But who cares? Anyway, you've got some RGB lights everywhere, which I can see. You've got your 4 PCI bracket lanes. You've got USB 3 here. You've got a 24 pin here for your connector. You've got USB 3 that is on an angle so you can keep your build nice and tidy. We have 6 USB 6 gigabits per second connectors. We've got 2. I'm not even sure what that is actually. I'm going to have to look at that. Oh, Turbo U2. I'm not actually sure, but I'm thinking it's like an express port. It's right next to the SATA connectors. But as I said, just a quick look over it. We've got another 2 USB, not 2 USB, 2 SATA connections right here as well. So you can have the cables coming out at the bottom of the motherboard. But it depends on how you got it in the case. You know, with Be Quiet's 900, it's kind of like you can turn the motherboard the other way around and stuff like that. So I think companies are actually making it more accessible and making it more, it's more of a demand to make it more modular with your motherboard and the cables. You don't want cables hanging around everywhere, so they've kind of worked with that. You've got 3 more headers here, fan headers. You've got your LED control system there, so you can control the RGB when you're connected into Windows. And you've got USB 2 there. You've got another 2 USBs there, another one there. You've got a battery connector that you can connect to the RGBs and turn the lights on without having any voltage. You've got a power button, a reset button, you've got a BIOS switch. And what is this? This is like it's an overclocking volume. I wouldn't suggest you use that, to be honest with you. If you're new to using with overclocking, do not use this right away because you could have problems. Learn about your overclock, start it from small, work your way up. But anyway, I'm going to do an overclocking video as well. I'm going to do it with stocks. I'm going to do it with a graphics card, overclocking graphics card, overclocking the CPU, overclocking the SSDs. I might do RAID 0, see how it all works together. You've got a reader there, a debugging reader, so that's pretty cool. And what else we got on the back? So we got another USB on the back as well. So 3 USB 2s, 4 USB 3.1s with Type A. You got Type C, which is up 10 gigabits per second. Then you've got the other connector that you can use. You've got, what's this called again? This is called a... What's it called? Killer. So this is called a Killer Infinite port. So basically... Alright. So this is called a... Actually, let me find out what it's called properly now. I thought I could hear you walk around. Killer. Was it called Killer something Pro? I can't remember. Oh, anyway. Right. So this is called a killer Ethernet port. So basically when you're online and you're gaming hard, you don't really want it to drop, especially if you're streaming and gaming at the same time, which you'll be able to do with this board because it's meant to be a bit of a beast. But we're going to be testing for thermals, and we're going to test for to see if it's really stable, because Intel did bring this out pretty quick as its competition to AMD, but I don't really care, not really a fanboy of AMD or Intel. I just like a computer to work, and at the end of the day, you're not really going to notice what you've got in there. That's the way it is. Anyway, you got your Dolby Pro logic and your optical connector there, and that is it about the motherboard. And then inside this bag, you do get some other stuff, which I should have talked about ages ago, but I'm only talking about it now. So this is the cable, which is quite long, and this is a 4-pin RGB strip, which you can connect into the board and hide it around the back for your RGB lights, and then your Bluetooth and everything like that is in here. But I really want to just test it. Like, I don't really want to just say, oh, you've got this and everything is good. I really want to just get it out and test it for real. Put it on top of the case, put it on the desk, put it somewhere, see if it's going to fall around and mess up your internet. And then obviously you've got the nice I/O bracket, which is the last thing. Anyway, if you like this video and you thought it was helpful and you want to ask me some questions, or you want to leave some comments, or you want to see some things on the channel with this motherboard, leave it down in the description down below. Anyway, share this video, like this video, and I'll see you very shortly about what I'm going to be doing next anyway. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.